Welcome back to Psycho Opinion. You're watching just one part of a breakdown and discussion of the Wrong Turn franchise. Your discretion is advised, and there are spoilers ahead. Comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoy this video, and stay to the end if you would like to see a remastered, re-envisioned Wrong Turn trailer done by Psycho Opinion. Thank you. Hello again, and welcome back. We are on part 3 of this Psycho Opinion movie marathon, where we are focusing on the Wrong Turn series or franchise. Part 3 was made in 2009, and it's titled Left for Dead. As we have been going through this, Jen has been giving us some summaries. So, Jen, if you want to go ahead and summarize this movie, and then we can discuss what we thought of it.
Okay. So it opens with whitewater rafting. Two pot smoking babes in bikinis, and one goes topless after they're done with the whitewater rafting. Two guys. There are two guys. So one guy starts to get cozy with the topless girl, but out of nowhere she gets an arrow through her eye. Cannibal eats her. Yep, the old arrow through the eye. Cannibal eats her eyeball. Nice touch. Her boyfriend runs through the woods and activates a trap which splits him in half two ways. Parts of the scene you can tell horrible CGI was used. The cannibal pats the body with his hands and licks it. It's kind of a nice touch, that one is. But yeah, I cannot forgive the horrible CGI. I know for the time period, it was like used quite a bit, but God, it was bad. It was really bad.
I feel like this one, and I'm going to let you continue, but I feel like the budget was a little less on this one.
Yeah, you can tell.
I feel like the other ones had better effects right off the bat. So.
Yes, agreed. So next scene is the West Virginia penitentiary. Penitentiary? No, I'm saying it right? Penitentiary, yeah. Some whispering among inmates about one of them liking to burn things. 3 prison guards and an undercover inmate, U.S. Marshal named something, I forgot. I have it as blank here. Does it begin with a V? I don't remember. Should I continue?
Oh, yeah, you can continue. I was just looking to see if I had the name.
Okay. So this U.S. Marshal inmate guy is to oversee transport of Chavez, a leader of crime organization. 3 other prisoners are coming along. One is a serial killer, another is a car thief, and the other is an ex-Marine. They take a wrong turn through an abandoned paper mill. The paper mill again.
The paper mill.
Yeah. Their bus tires get tangled in barbed wire. Of course. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that before.
There's some ongoing themes here, I think.
For sure, yeah. And I do kind of like that. I do like the ongoing themes. That was fun. They have to continue on foot. The inmates hold the guards as their prisoner. They find Alex, the surviving girl from the beginning. They follow her and find a truck with bags of money. Then there's lots of rapey talk from the inmates towards Alex. They find a gun on the truck, and Walter is killed. They find a young cannibal with 3 toes who they behead as a warning to the other cannibals. Of course, this just enrages them. One dude dies from another trap set with a scythe swinging that slices off his face. More bad CGI. Another inmate gets caught in a trap with barbed wire. There's a lot of barbed wire in this one.
Barbed wire.
Yep. And dragged on the road.
Every time we just say barbed wire.
Definitely. Yeah, do it. And he's dragged on the road until he dies. I did kind of like that. I thought that was kind of cool. That they drag him, on that truck with the barbed wire.
I can't imagine a worse way to go.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bad ways to
pretty
go in this
painful.
movie, I guess, but that one is terrible.
Inmates start punching each other and I stopped paying attention and did my nails. Oh yeah, I wrote that in the notes. Yep, I kind of missed out on a little bit on this part because I got really super bored and hated it.
Okay. Okay.
So I did other things. All right, at some point, the local sheriff comes to investigate. He gets almost immediately killed with a spear from above by a cannibal. One of the other inmates gets a Molotov cocktailed by a cannibal. Cannibal kidnaps Alex the girl, takes her to his cannibal lair, or maybe it's a torture sex dungeon. There is another woman there chained with barbed wire, naturally, and naked but still alive. Things get almost rapey with Alex.
Okay.
Yeah. Inmate leader of the group gets killed by meat hook, and top of his skull gets chopped off with an axe. He eats some. The cannibal eats some of his brain. The prison guard finds cannibal sex dungeon and rescues Alex. Alex kills one of the cannibals with an axe. They drive away. Surprise! The cannibal jumps on their truck and attacks them. They have an accident and truck catches on fire. The last living inmate saves them. Surprise! The cannibal attacks them again. The prison guard kills him with a meat hook and the truck explodes. The prison guard tells the inmate he will pretend he got killed so he can just walk free. He believes he is a good guy and wrongfully imprisoned, so lets him go. The cops show up. Alex and the prison guard survive. A twist at the very end. Very twisty.
Twisty.
Yep, twisty. Like the clown. The prison guard stashes the money and comes back for it. We learn he wants to use it to go to Miami and get women with it. I believe that's what he says.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Bam! The inmate, the guard saved, shoots him in the back with an arrow. Double bam! A cannibal attacks him. Cannibal attacks the inmate with some weird looking tool. Because there is always another cannibal.
What are you doing?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. I feel like because you lost interest, maybe I should go ahead and summarize this a little myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, features a group of prison officers and convicts. The returning character, Three Finger, causes the transport bus to crash, allowing convicts to escape and take the surviving prison officers. Nate, who is played by Tom Frederick, and Walter, by Chucky Ben, prisoner. While fleeing, the convicts and their prisoners stumble across a lost truck, which has been transporting thousands of dollars, as well as Alex Miles, played by Janet Montgomery, who has been lost in the woods since Three Finger killed the rest of her friends. She was the surviving girl from the Whitewater incident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, Three Toes, which is Three Finger's nephew, is killed by Chavez. Three Finger finds Three Toes' severed head, which makes him furious. He creates a shrine and leaves the head on display in his cabin. The one remaining surviving convict, Brandon, convinces Nate of his innocence and is set free. Nate returns later to the truck to steal the money that Chavez wanted, but Brandon shoots him in the back with a bow and arrow and takes the money for himself. An unknown cannibal comes up behind Brandon and bludgeons him with a crude club, killing him and leaving Alex the only survivor in the film. There's a lot of this is convoluted. There's a lot of convicts and prisoners, and convicts take the prison guards prisoner.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a whole mess. But anyway, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Is Three Fingers still in this one? The old man's still in this one. The old man is played by the same person throughout all of these movies, which I want to, which is kind of important because I'm going to bring that up and bring that back around later. But so the first three movies, Wayne Robson played Maynard. He was an actor that was also in the movie Cube. I don't don't know if you remember Cube
I
very
do
well.
remember Cube.
He was the guy.
I
that
liked
was,
Cube
like,
back in the day.
He was the weird guy with like the shoes who was like figuring out the cube thing, the weird old guy. Anyway, so he was in these movies as the old man. That's what basically his title was, this old man. We find out later that his name is Maynard. If maybe not in this movie, we'll find out later. But so a new freak is in this one, and if I remember correctly, this one mostly goes around Three Finger, doesn't it? Three Finger's kind of the main freak in this movie, seen the most and everything. But they do introduce his nephew, Three Toes.
For a little while.
Yeah, for a little while, until he gets beheaded by Chavez, the badass drug dealer. So my notes on this one is, okay, so fairly close to the beginning of the movie, a character refers to lighting a joint as blowing a stick.
I've never heard that before either. Never heard anybody use that terminology.
Yeah, I put, is this some kind of slang I've never heard? Because if it is, no.
It's dumb.
Don't. Just stop.
Yeah.
I feel like whoever wrote this wanted to come up with some new, cool way to say that or something. I don't know. But blowing a stick is the stupidest slang I've ever heard of in my life. Nobody would ever say that in real life. Hey man, you want to go blow a stick? It sounds
didn't catch on.
Sounds very homosexual, and I mean, not that there's a problem with that.
It does?
Blowing a stick? Want to blow a stick?
Oh, I guess yeah. I kind of see it now, but I didn't see it then.
Well, I don't know if you ever walked up to me and said, "Hey, like, want to blow a stick?" I would not assume that we were talking about smoking anything.
I guess it's because I don't really think of a stick as very phallic. I mean, yes, it is long.
Stick is it's more phallic.
It's very slender.
Well,
I don't want to think about that.
Not
you know
all
what I
men
mean?
not all men are built equally, Jen.
Oh, it's true.
Some are long and skinny like a stick. I'm not, but some are. I'm just saying. Anyway, I digress. Point is that so that's what I had there. This movie has the usual sexy parts with tits for no reason, and I won't even add that for the rest. I won't even add. What did I say there? This movie has the usual sexy parts with tits for no reason, and I won't even add that for the rest. Just assume that it is a wrong turn staple. Okay, yeah, so I'm not going to put that in all of my description, but let's just assume that there is typically boobies to get the younger versions of ourselves all excited, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the older version of ourselves, too. I'm just trying to act mature here. But there's usually, like, boobs for no reason.
In most of these, yes.
Yeah. Not the first one.
Not the first one, yeah.
Not the first
True.
one. No, there wasn't, right?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't any boobies.
Okay. So
Or any nudity.
like in the
And
beginning
no sex,
of
I don't think. Sorry. There wasn't any sex in the first one either.
There was.
That I
It was
recall.
implied.
Was there?
It was implied
It was
by
implied.
the two that were left with the car.
Right.
The young couple that died first.
Mm-hmm.
It was implied that they were
That's
having
right.
sex while everybody else went off
That's
to
true.
look for help.
Yep.
But I don't think they had actual
Not what that we saw. Yeah.
So, just like the beginning of a movie, just like the beginning of, like in the beginning of the movie, there is the worst porn acting ever.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that couple die. As all wrong turn movies go, the kills are usually pretty creative with on-point effects. The effects in this one were more poor than others, but I mean, still, bloody gory is I think what I meant there. It felt like using inmates and police officers was a poor attempt to create drama and kick up the violence. This is something you will always hear me complain about, over-cocking of a shotgun.
Oh, hey. Couldn't help but notice you're trespassing on my land.
Sorry, I was just hiking through. I didn't know this was private property.
Best get to stepping, son.
I could just get off if you need me to. I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
You're doing a lot of yammering, but unbeknownst to you, you're speaking your final words.
You don't need to brandish that weapon. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Well, sounds to me like we got
What
a
do you
bit
want me
of
to
a
walk? Okay.
smart ass on our hands.
You're ejecting a lot of shells there.
Yup.
You're not gonna have any left to shoot me.
What'd you just say to me?
It's like the 12th shell.
You little shit.
You already got one in the chamber. I've seen like 36 shells go through that gun.
Don't need them.
They would have just continuously kicked out good live rounds. So after Three Toes is killed, which was Three Fingers' nephew, Three Fingers goes ham and kills everyone. One freak. Seems damn near impossible. But here we are. I get the ancestral freak baby super strength, but these guys are practically immortal with the hits they take. You'd think they'd bleed to death. So then we go from overcocking to no cocking, which is just as obnoxious.
Oh, geez.
Take this.
I can just leave. You're not even.
Yeah, I'm shooting at you now.
Is that even a real gun?
Ah,
There's like 0 recoil to that gun.
ah,
Dude, you're not even coming close to me here.
alakablam.
I don't understand the physics of this.
You're gonna want to get.
Well, all right. Dude, how many shells do you have in that gun?
One thing I've always wondered about in these movies and others like it is, how do people escape and drive or run for miles while the freak or freaks are doing other shit, and just boom, the freaks instantly come up on the escaping protagonist. So again, I'm discussing how can you not lose these people in the woods?
Yeah.
Like I said in the first one, it's like it's just it makes no sense that the freaks always know where they are. And to kind of also go over my notes, I know that this is more of a guy thing. If Steve was here, he would agree with me 100%. But I can't stand the lack of knowledge of firearms in movies.
Not just a guy thing.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like a shotgun, if you cock a shotgun multiple times before shooting it, you're just going to kick out good live rounds. I mean, it makes no sense. Nobody who knows how to use a gun would do that. It's not something you do. But you see it constantly in movies.
Yeah.
Or people using a shotgun multiple times without cocking the shotgun. It's a pet peeve of mine. I also hate when people in the middle of shooting semi-automatic pistol like recock the gun. Like that's pointless. It's not going to do anything for you except for waste a round. I don't understand. I don't understand how there aren't people there. How there's nobody on set that's like,
Yes. I was going to say something like that. Like, yeah, they should have like some sort of firearms consultant, or I don't know if it's like an editing thing. Like maybe they're doing something stupid in editing and not getting it because they don't understand firearms or what.
I mean, maybe, but there's got to be somebody around that's like, I've used a shotgun
Yeah.
before. That's not how it works. Or maybe the director doesn't care. I don't know. Maybe it's just being lazy.
Could be.
I've heard true stories about hikers going off the trail to take a piss and got lost and couldn't find the trail again. That was just adding on to the fact that it's like, how can you not lose people when people literally get lost walking 5 feet off the trail to take a piss?
Yeah.
And last criticism is that the movie ends with another freak out of nowhere. Where the hell was he? Did Three Fingers say, hold my hillbilly swill, I got this? Could he have not used help? Was the other freak coming back from vacation? What the hell? All that being said, still a better movie than the second one, who set the bar extremely low.
Did you just say that this one's better than the second one?
Yes, this one I rated better than the second one.
Well, I disagree with that.
You can.
Yeah.
I thought the second one was just terrible.
This particular one was possibly, I think, one of the lowest for me.
Really?
Although I
Okay.
think Wrong Turn 4, that one might be the lowest. I don't know. They might be tied for the lowest, these two.
Wrong Turn 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We definitely did not see eye to eye on these. I just looked at the ratings,
Yeah.
and we are way off. So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like
No, it is
the back
good.
and forth on that because
Yeah. Makes it more
That's-
interesting.
that is interesting. For sure. Yeah. So we have that. What did
Mhm.
you think of this one? I know you said that you felt the effects were bad. I know that you just stated that you felt like this was worse than the second.
Mhm.
What other criticisms did you have?
Yeah, this one was boring for me. I did not care about the characters at all. And like you just mentioned, I had really bad CGI, and I definitely couldn't get past that. Because I'm not a huge fan of CGI, but if you're going to use CGI, do it well. And this definitely did not do it well, but could possibly be the time period. CGI has come a long way since then.
It That doesn't make sense, though. You say that, but it's like this movie was after the second one, and the CGI was better. So it's kind of.
Second one, where was the CGI on the second one? I saw mostly practical effects.
I thought there was a couple of moments of CGI, like the explosions with the dynamite and stuff. That wasn't
Oh,
CGI.
well, the explosions. Well, yeah. I'll give
felt
that a
like that
pass.
was-
If that
it
was
felt like that
CGI,
was better.
then I still think it was pretty well done. Wasn't super bad or anything. Like I couldn't really tell if it was CGI or not. Not the fire, not the explosions.
I think the budget on this movie, instead of spending it on better CGI or practical effects, they just spent it on tits.
Hmm. Yeah, that could be right.
I mean, and by no means am I sitting here, and I just need to make that clear for anybody that's watched these movies and is following along with us. I by no means am saying that this movie was good. I mean, a matter of fact, even just explaining, I feel like even explaining what happened in the movie is confusing as hell.
Hmm.
You know, like I listened to you explain it, and I'm like, I don't
Wow.
know, that didn't help me too well. I feel like I was kind of confusing, and then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, let me see if I can make it any better. And I feel like I literally took notes from other resources, and I still feel confused
Mhm.
about what the movie's about. It's very it's a very convoluted script, honestly.
Agreed.
Where it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of all over the damn place. Quite frankly,
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to describe this movie because it's just like there's a convict and a prisoner and a prisoner and a convict, and
Mhm.
then this happens, and then that convict, and then it's hard and difficult to explain.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was annoyed with parts of it. I still feel like watching them in my notes, I put that I like this one better. I mean, in my mind right now, I'm kind of feeling like this one and the second one were both pretty rough. But I didn't just watch these yesterday. I took these notes, a little while back.
Yeah.
So kind of is what it is, but that's I don't know, definitely not my favorite.
Yeah, definitely not mine either.
And it's I would say it's another low. I would say it stays low. I would say that the first one comes down to the second one, not for you. First one goes up to the second one for you.
Yeah.
But it goes down for me, and then it kind of stays there for a minute with this one.
Mhm.
And then I mean, we'll definitely go on to 4 and see where we feel about that, but I feel like we get a spike for 4. So
Do you? Oh, okay.
I do.
Well-
and I'll explain why after we get
Oh,
to
yeah.
3
I'm
here.
very curious. So I felt like this one was a bit more of like some sort of crime gangster movie,
Totally a
convicts
different
and stuff.
vibe.
Totally a different vibe, for
I'll
sure.
give you that. Totally
For
different
sure.
vibe. Like the first one to me was like a standard kind of horror movie. The second one, like you said, campy, kind of goofy, kind of silly.
Yep.
This one felt
Like it was trying to be too serious
like it was trying to be something.
or
Like it was trying to
something.
be, I don't know, like you said, maybe it was trying to be almost like a, I don't know, kind of
Yeah.
like you said, maybe a crime movie with some twists.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain what it felt like, but it definitely didn't have the same feel of the first or the second one. The second one did feel a little closer to the first one as far as some of the
Comparing these
vibe,
three. Yeah.
but 3 is way off the vibe. And I think that
Yeah.
with the series and the franchise as we go, I think 3 really throws off the vibe.
Mhm.
I think we get a little bit of that back in the later films, but
Yes.
it definitely doesn't. It definitely was off as far as the vibe goes, the overall feeling. of the
Totally off
movies.
for me. The acting was just bland to me. Like I really didn't care about any of these people.
Yeah, nobody.
No redeeming qualities for me, except for maybe. I mean, there was the twist at the end, and then there was like another twist.
Who do you think you are, Blueberries? And who do you think
I am? What? I don't know. Why don't you ask?
you?
Yeah, kind of the
Chrissy?
good guy not being as good as we thought the good guy
Yes.
was, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
I actually did not. So props for that.
It wasn't a Shyamalan twist by any means.
No,
but,
definitely
it
not
was-
quite
it
like
was,
that, but
It was like kind of a, I don't know, think tank. Like, what if the good guy's not good?
yeah.
That kind of
Shocking.
thing. Or yeah, like shocker, kind of
Hmm.
thing. It wasn't anything out of this world, but yeah, it was unexpected.
Yeah, unexpected. But yeah, I probably will never watch this one again
Oh,
for
come on.
sure. Like there was no rewatch ability in this one for me. Like I hated it that much. I mean, I was just so bored that I didn't even pay attention in like some of the middle. I mean, I half paid attention. I wouldn't say I like completely didn't pay attention, but
Yeah.
yeah, somewhere in the middle, I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah. I could see where you're coming from. I did feel that way a lot in the second one as well, but
No, not the second one.
we've got a ways to go. So, are you satisfied with your conclusion
Yeah,
on episode or movie 3? Sorry.
yeah. Not much to
Okay.
talk about with that one.
Yeah, so we did our best to try to explain this one, guys. Maybe you felt differently or that it wasn't as convoluted or confusing, and if you like this one, good for you. I hope that you guys can leave some comments and let us know kind of what your comparison of these movies are if you've seen it, because I'd be really interested because I really felt like even Jen and I would be on the same page about these, and apparently we're not. So it's rather interesting, and I'd like to see what the opinion of some other people are. So please comment and stay with us. We've got some really exciting things that are going to be coming up in the later episodes, or if you continue with this longer version episode. Even a trailer at the end that we're going to go ahead and review, and some fun, facts and conversation about the movies as a whole at the end here. We'll also be kind of summarizing in sort of a rating system, if you will, of the movies. So stay tuned or come back and click on Wrong Turn 4, which is next. That is Bloody Beginnings, 2011. See you soon.